Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negro. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or you are watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I also have another channel which is called Latina Diaspora, where I discuss issues regarding Latinos residing in the United States. Um, there is a link to the channel in the description. First of all, I just want to wish everyone a truly blessed Thanksgiving. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been a subscriber from the very beginning or just recently joining us late listeners today. I really appreciate your continued love and support. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices, as well as those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you're not done so already, I'm going to ask you to consider subscribing, um, liking, and setting the bell notifications to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. So, as you can tell by description, the topic for tonight will be to stop the chaos. And what I'll be doing is setting boundaries for yourself and boundaries for others to follow. But before we get into the main topic, uh, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the fact even though the election um, has been over for about 3 weeks now, would you believe that the Harris campaign is still fundraising because of the fact that no, regardless of the fact that they raised over $1 billion in her campaign to become president, um, supposedly the Harris Wars campaign is $20 million in debt. Now, how the heck can you do that? I don't know how, but if it's true, it's incredible. The fact that they have mismanaged their finances. I don't know if it is true, if it's not true, but it does not speak well when you have to ask your supporters to give you money so they can get out to pay their debts. Anything can happen. Things are possible. But all I can say is let's let's avoid some of the mistakes that were made. So therefore, in the future, should uh, further candidates, whether it be on the Democratic or the Republican side, wish to run for office, let's try avoiding some of these mistakes. One of them is, depending so much on celebs to try to convince people to vote for you, particularly celebs like Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce, who basically twerked and provided a free concert, but nothing of substance. Okay. The fact of the matter is, if you really want people to vote for you have to articulate clearly and articulate why they should consider you instead of considering your opponent. So it is not a good thing when you have to try to shame people to vote for your candidate, or you have to have female performers like make the starting twerk in order to support your campaign. Um, that being said, of course, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Many of us will be spending the holiday with family and loved ones. So as we gather together at the table, you know, giving thanks and enjoying some food, let us be mindful of people who are not as fortunate as we are. Let us be mindful of the fact that there are people who are struggling to put food on the table. Okay, so let's be considerate to these people. Okay, um, also let's be take into consideration that for some people this is not a happy time. For some people they're dealing with the loss of loved ones, whether either through death or the ending of marriages or things of that nature. So let's be um, a source of love and a shoulder to cry on for some of these people. Of course, we're entering into the Christmas season, so and of course, Christmas means a lot of things to different people. Okay, but what I would encourage you to do is whatever celebration you're going to do, just don't go overboard, whether it be going overboard with the shopping, whether going overboard with the consumption of alcohol, or even overboard when it comes to eating. Easier said than done because we're going to be invited to various functions when food's going to be on the table. I know that it's been a struggle with me with the battle of the bulge, which is why tonight's topic, setting boundaries, how to set boundaries, it's something that's germane. Um, just want to let everybody know that the next live will be on Friday night, probably 9:30. We shall have another episode of open discussion. With that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. So before I begin, let me just state for the record that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to hit the link and join the panel for whatever for discuss the topic on hand, they may do so. Let me remind everyone again that if I never see you before and I never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage to make sure that no one flashes anything inappropriate, which would cause the people of YouTube to take down the stream. Hopefully the day will come when I won't have to continue making that announcement. Until then, I will do everything possible to make sure that these individuals don't try to invade this space. So anyway, now as far as boundaries, why do we set boundaries? Okay, we all set boundaries for many reasons. Okay, but basically, when it comes to boundaries, there's certain things that we want our own space to be respected. And what I mean by space, whether it be as far as who you deal with, as far as who they come, whether they come to your home, okay? Because we'll have boundaries, okay? Now, when you go visit someone's home, you're not going to do what you want. You got to pay attention to what the host instructs you to do. So If the host tells you that you're not going to, help yourself to the refrigerator, whatever, it means that. Okay, you're going to respect their space. Also, boundary has to do with certain topics that they don't want to have this, they don't want to hear or don't want to engage with. Okay, it's boundaries here on this platform. Okay, for example, I am not going to allow people that are going to be disrespectful to me. I'm not going to allow people that are going to be disrespectful to anyone that's on the panel or on the chat. If I have to remove people, I will remove people. Now, I've been fortunate, okay, because the number of people that have been permanently banned from this platform has been small. It's been a very small number. And usually, I ban people because they did not respect my space, they did not respect my boundaries. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Most likely this stream is not going to last long, probably an hour. Okay. Because let's keep it real. It's Wednesday. People are getting ready for tomorrow. So most likely people are going to watch it on the playback. So just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. So this is an article. Actually, it was written 6 months ago. And the name of the article is 5 Ways to Prioritize That Actually Work. So let's see what the article says. We have those days when we feel pulled in 1,000 directions and our responsibilities feel equally important, hitting the work deadline, getting in the workout, making cookies for the bake sale, pouring into your relationships, and the list goes on. How do you manage it? Prioritization. This is a process of deciding what's most important in your life and giving those things the right amount of attention and time. Prioritizing means getting clear on who you are and what you want to achieve and how you want to live your life. When you know what's most important, you can find fresh motivation, focus, and excitement to do what matters to you. You feel free to say no to things that won't move you closer to your goals. You can use limits to your advantage and make the most of your time, energy, and money you got to achieve your goals. Is this easier said than done? Yes, but learning how to prioritize is a process, but it's a skill you can learn, and I promise it'll be worth it. Okay. Let's see, just one more. Now, let me talk about the importance of prioritization. There are a million things competing for your time, money, and attention. And since you have limited amounts of all three, you need to be intentional regarding how you're spending these resources. That's why learning how to prioritize could be life-changing for you. Here are 5 things prioritization can help you do. Create life balance. Sometimes less is more. We all have responsibilities that have to be taken care of, but rest is seriously overlooked in our culture. When we pause to make time for a full night's sleep, connection with loved ones, and hobbies, we set ourselves up to approach work with fresh energy. Manage your time and money. Their friends like to say, I can tell by looking at your bank account and your calendar that you care what you care about. Because when you spend your time and your money, the truth is we spend our money and our time on things that matter to us. Having clear priorities will help you to manage your time and clean up your budget, which will keep you from wasting resources on things that drain you. Make decisions. Clarifying your priorities means making a few big decisions instead of many smaller ones. Once you know what your yes is, you have an easier time saying no to things that don't matter. Here is an example. If you're going to bed earliest priority, turn off the devices and leave them in the kitchen so you will not be tempted to answer emails or doom scroll in the bedroom. You're confident. After prioritizing, you will live with a deeper sense of purpose. You'll wake up each morning with a clear idea of what you want to accomplish that day or what needs to wait to be delegated to someone else. Feel less stress. If you don't put your goals first, it'll be easier to let schedules and needs of everyone else dictate your actions. Before you know it, you'll be putting out fires for everyone else, wondering why don't you don't have the energy for your own work. But when you start prioritizing, you not only you'll be in control of your time, you'll become knowing that you have a plan. How to prioritize your life? That's a good question. There are dozens of self-help hacks and tools for prioritization out there, and many of them are great. But before we get technical, I want you to zoom in and get the 30,000 foot view of what you need, what you want out of life. Because if you haven't made the right decision about big things, it doesn't really matter about the decision you make about the small things. Number one, take ownership of your time. If you understand your priorities, live in a balanced life, you got to take responsibility for how you spend your time. No matter how busy or stressed you are in control of what goes on in your calendar. No one else can decide what your priorities are. That's your job. And while it's great idea to talk through it process with a friend or mentor, especially your spouse, it comes down to taking back control of your time and deciding what you want your life to look like. Decide what's most important. All things are not created equal. We have a lot of good things, great things, and even important things to do. But prioritizing isn't about doing important things. We have to put what's most important in life first. So try this. Get a piece of paper or a journal and write down all the things going on in your life. Your obligations, your relationship, hobbies, anything that takes time and energy. Then from the list, narrow it down to the top 10 things that matter most to you. Don't worry about the order right now. Just choose the 10 most important things. It might be family, faith, exercise at work, starting a business, having a baby, applying for grad school, keeping the house clean, or something else. Use the prioritization pyramid. Okay, now you're going to get we're going to get technical. You identify your top 10 priorities. Right now, they're probably all seem equally important. I want you to picture the priorities in a row like this. And there are some examples. If your priorities have equal importance, when two competing opportunities come up, you won't know which to pursue. How could you? It's time to rank your priorities in a hierarchy. Instead of an equal horizontal list, I want you to use the pyramid to rank down your priorities. Put the most important things or the things you want to do first on the bottom, like a foundation, and the less important things or less urgent things on top. And this is what the pyramid will look like. Now, when two competing things pop up, you can filter your options and make a decision based on what's in line with your first priority. And if you need to play around with your practice with this before it really clicks, that's okay. It's a tool for you to use, not a contract that you're locked into. Excuse me. Divide your priorities into specific time periods. Now we're going to take a closer look at how to plan daily lives around our priorities. Everyone has the top 10 priorities in their life that help create a regular rhythm and routine. But we need to use time management to work on those priorities during a season, a week, or a day. For each of these, you're going to limit yourself for just a few. And by few, I mean 3 or 4. Our culture is way too busy, so part of prioritization is saying no to unrealistic expectations about how much you can get done. Also, smaller amounts of time, your priorities are going to become more specific. Choose your priorities for a season. Your priorities will change based on the season you're in. Let's say you are an accountant. You can expect to work on a high priority during tax season. Or maybe you're about to get married. Planning a wedding is going to put some priorities on hold, like watching a big game with your buddies each weekend. For each phase of your life, it could be several months or even an entire year. Choose 3 to 4 big, overreaching priorities you plan to give more time, attention, and money to. Let me give you some example of what my things look like. Find and move to a new house. Prepare for your annual review and possible promotion. Coach one of your kids' sports teams. Choose priorities for your week. Your weekly priorities will change based on what you're going on at work, with the kids, or in your social life. Let's say you've been training for a marathon and you're in 1 week away from the race day. You probably want to prioritize extra sleep and healthy meals that week over spending time with friends. Once again, choose 3 to 4 overarching priorities for your work. Here's a few ideas. Prepare for a big presentation of work, finishing filing taxes, celebrating a birthday or an anniversary. Choosing priorities for each day. Knowing your priorities for the week will help you narrow down your daily priorities. These are specific action items which will help you make your goals a reality. The trick is to not overcommit yourself to work you can actually accomplish. You should limit yourself to 3 or 4 items a day unless you have a lot of extra time on your hands. Like, as an example, go to the gym class before work, renew your car insurance, go to bed at 9 p.m. so you're rested for your presentation at work. Say no to distractions. Once you're clear on your priorities, you got to protect your time by saying no to distraction. This is an ongoing process that you need to revisit day after day because distractions are everywhere. From the moment you wake up, we are bombarded with a notification and emails and people shouting for our attention. With the instant connection and constant stimulation, it's easy to be distracted by every single moment of the day. Staying focused in a chaotic world is a choice. Don't delay what's most important to you to accommodate last-minute requests from other people. Don't let good opportunities derail you from your best opportunities. Don't say yes when you really want to say no. By the way, it's important to recognize that we say yes to distractions of all sorts of reasons. Maybe we don't want to disappoint anyone or feel the pressure to achieve, or we're bored, or we might want to be a hero, or maybe a combination of curiosity of wanting to grow and experience life. What about you? What do you say? And what keeps you from saying no? And always remember when you say no to something, it frees you to say yes to what matters most. And the final thing, make choices that prioritize your goals. If you're looking for more, okay, this is a book. We're going to park it here. I'm not going to advertise the book. So, excuse me, let me just, sorry about that. So this is some things to consider to help set some priorities. Okay, it's very important that to set priorities, to set boundaries that you can live with, and also people need to accept your boundaries. Okay, those people that don't accept the boundaries, the best thing you can do is try to limit their presence and or cut them out of your life completely. So what I'm going to do is share another article. Let's see. Excuse me. Just give me a moment. Like I said, I think I'll probably be no more than an hour. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so this is another article. It was written, actually, it was updated 4 months ago. How to set priorities in 4 steps plus effective strategies. While your long to-do list at work keeps you busy, it can also feel overwhelming. You might wonder how to determine which tasks are and most important to make your schedule more manageable. Understanding how to set priorities allows you to meet deadlines, collaborate effectively with team members, and stay organized at work. Okay, so let's see what. Why is it important to set priorities? Setting priorities is important for staying organized in your professional and personal life. It ensures that you're continually progressing toward the achievement of your goals and help you to remain productive without feeling overwhelmed. The practice also helps you to better manage your schedule and how much time you have for other tasks. By setting priorities, you understand what you're capable of and able to reject additional responsibilities when necessary. Now let's discuss how to set priorities. You can set priorities with the following steps. Number one, create a list of tasks. Creating a list of tasks to complete can help you determine which to prioritize over others. While you test down to a piece of paper or type it in a document. Some tasks you might include are editing a college paper, completing a work assignment, finishing a household chore, or studying for an upcoming test. Because some of these career priorities require you to complete tasks after work, and personal priorities may overlap with work responsibility. Help you to list both when setting priorities. Rank your tasks. Analyze each of your tasks and rank them by their level of importance. Consider the due dates or levels of work necessary for each task. Rank tasks with an earlier due date or that may be more important to complete earlier higher on your list. Tasks that aren't due soon or require less work may receive a lower rank. You can also organize your tasks by those you must do, you should do, or nice to do. The must do tasks take a bigger priority than the list that you're nice to do. And again, the topic for tonight, for those who are just tuning in, is um, has to do with trying to set priorities. Okay. So the next thing is allocate time and requirements for each test. Allocate the time requirements for each test to estimate how much time you will need to reserve in your day to complete each item. This can help you to determine how many priorities you can handle within a certain time period. You can estimate how much time is necessary by referring to your past experiences or asking colleagues for advice. Write down time increment for each task on your list. Use a schedule for your day's priorities. Once you know your most important tasks and how long to take to complete, add them to a schedule. This gives you the visual view of what you need to finish certain tasks. Create a detailed schedule that includes your daily and monthly tasks. Aim to check a certain number of tasks off your list each week and month. So now we're going to be talking about setting priorities. Narrowing down your to-do list can help you feel less overwhelmed and make it easier to plan enough time to manage your priorities. Know when to remove tasks from your list, giving yourself more time to focus on your priorities. Consider removing the tasks at the bottom of your list. You can also discuss your responsibilities with your supervisor to receive input regarding your work-related priorities. Now, there's some key tips in improving your time management. Plan for the unexpected. Planning for every minute of your day leaves little room for unexpected changes to the schedule. A test may take longer than you plan, or you may have to take on additional tasks. Some tests may also move up in terms of priority. Leave room in your schedule to accommodate these unexpected changes and help you to better adjust to them. Be realistic. The more realistic your goals and priorities are, the greater chance you have of completing them. This means not only setting priorities that are achievable, but also manageable within a specific period. Know that interruptions may occur and that some days it may be more difficult to focus on your most important priorities. Think backward. Thinking backward might give you a new perspective on the importance of your task. To accomplish this, start with a single task you believe that requires your attention most urgently. Compare this task with the other top tasks on your list. Consider the consequences if you don't complete each one soon. This can help you narrow down a list of priorities, determining one that requires immediate attention. Take breaks. Consider taking breaks to manage your priorities. Breaks can help you distance yourself from less important tasks you have to complete and help you determine what's really important to you. If necessary, schedule breaks to ensure you set aside time to take them. Update your list frequently. As you complete tasks or have new projects, update your list accordingly. At the end of the day, write down the top 5 things you want to focus on the next day. Some items from the previous day may carry over to the next day, or you may add new tasks. Use time multipliers. Time multipliers are strategies that give you more time in the future. It involves strategizing things that you can do today to give yourself more time to set and work on priorities tomorrow. For example, you may spend one more day learning how to set priorities and create detailed schedules. This allows you to better manage and save time going forward. Create subtasks. Managing priorities can be more manageable when you consider any progress as progress. To avoid feeling overwhelmed by some of your tasks and focus on them as a whole, break them into subtasks. Consider allocating 15 minutes each day to an assignment. Eventually, you may make progress by completing the task in its entirety. Consider your most productive hours. Tracking the times of the day when you're most productive can help you complete your priorities in a timely manner. Determine if you're more productive in the early mornings or late at night. Assign the most important priorities during this time. This can help you to get more done when you're able to focus, leaving you more time for other tasks. Minimize distractions. Reduce any distractions to help you make progress in your priorities. Evaluate what you're most likely to experience distractions in the workday and use the time to take a break. You can also choose to work in a work environment that will reduce the number of distractions throughout the day. And share your priorities with others. Sharing your priorities with others help you to accept responsibility. Discuss priorities with your coworkers, friends, or even your supervisor. They may offer beneficial feedback to help you optimize your resources and help ensure priorities align with your overall goals. And we're going to park it here. So as you can see here, there's a different strategies how to prioritize and set reasonable limits on yourself. This is especially true when you are at work and you have multiple tasks to do, okay, and all of them are present. So, well, what's a good thing for you to do is ask your supervisor, what are those tasks that require you to be completed first? That way you can focus your energy on those tasks. And again, for those who are just coming in, the topic for tonight is stop the chaos. In other words, I'm talking about how to bring order into your life through setting boundaries. Okay, let's see, just give me a moment. Okay, this. Okay, you know what? There's another article. I don't think I'm going to share it because this is basically a continuation. But going back, and you're gonna have people that's gonna make demands of yourself. You're gonna have people that are gonna make demands on your time. You're gonna have to determine, first of all, um, what tasks you can do, what you can do for others, and what you're gonna have to say no to. That's something that's very important. You have to learn how to say no to certain things that you know that you're not able to do or you're not in a position to do. Some people are gonna may get upset. Well, I mean, unfortunately, they're gonna have to be upset with you, okay? Because you're not doing yourself any favors when you're doing 55 things and you don't have time to get your stuff done. Okay. Um, and you have to determine what you will focus on and what you will accomplish. No one can do that for you. I mean, you can get some guidance and things of that nature, but when everything is said and done, it is you who make that determination as far as what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. Okay. Also, as far as respecting boundary, is respecting the boundaries of others. Okay. If you are requesting some sort of input from someone or information from someone, you need to give that person the time and the space to gather the information that you need. So that's a boundary. The boundary is respecting, you know, giving them the time that they need um, to respond to your inquiry, to respond to your questions. Okay. By constantly calling them whatever, you're not doing yourself a favor because basically you're acting as a distraction. And what you're doing, you're not respecting their boundaries. And what's going to happen is those people are not going to be inclined to help you. Okay. And another thing to bear in mind when it comes to like leaving messages and things like that or emails, do try to respond within a reasonable time. What is a reasonable time? Well, that's depend on you and that's depend on your busy schedule. Okay. I mean, if you lead a very active life, most likely it's going to be a challenge for you to respond within the same day. But try to respond by the next day or no more than two days. Okay. And then just be prepared, to give a brief explanation why. Okay. And also something to bear in mind is there's certain things that you're gonna need some time to do research to gather the information that they require. Okay. Also another thing that you need to know what you can do and what you can't do. Okay. And you need to be honest. Okay. Um, in the long run, most people are going to respect you when you stay, what are your limitations and also state what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. And those who have problems with that, they're going to have problems respecting your boundaries. Okay. And also there are certain boundaries that can apply when it comes to relationships. You have to make it perfectly clear with those that you interact with, whether it be as far as colleagues at work, whether it be classmates at school, whether it be with siblings at home or with siblings in general. Also, as far as your romantic interest concerned, you have to set boundaries and you have to enforce those boundaries. Okay. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say you are in a relationship where you have made the decision that you're going to be monogamous. In other words, you are going to be in a serious committed relationship with one person only. You're not going to go pursuing with other people. You're not going to flirt with other people. You're not going to try to date other people. Okay, because other respect and as far as the boundary is concerned, you're not going to do that. And of course, you're not going to like it when your significant other does not respect your boundaries as well. It's best you define what are your boundaries are in the very beginning. Okay. The problem is when you wait until later on, it can be a sore point. It can cause a lot of friction, and people asking and legitimately asking, why didn't you state your boundaries from the beginning? You need to do that, okay? But the boundaries should be realistic, okay? And again, you need to be able to enforce those boundaries. That's something that we all have to bear in mind. So, in any case, I've been talking for about 45 minutes. So, of course, again, the link is there. Should anyone wishes to hit the link and express their opinions regarding a topic, they can do so. Um, I see no one's entering any comments in the chat, which most likely mean that people are going to watch them the playback. Um, this is something that I knew there was a possibility um, that it may not be widely viewed immediately. Perhaps it will be reviewed later on. Okay, well, thank you, Irby. May you have a truly blessed Thanksgiving. Um, just, I mean, just try to take it easy on the liquid refreshment, so to speak, if you catch my drift. Um, so the topic tonight is stop the chaos. So what I'm talking about is how to set priorities in our lives and and have people respect your priorities, which are boundaries. Okay, and these are very important when whether you're interacting with family members, when you're interacting with your classmates, when you're interacting with your colleagues, and also when it comes to romantic relationships. It's very important that you establish one way or another what are your boundaries. You're going to establish what is permissible and you're going to establish what is not permissible. And then, should anyone, for whatever reason, does not respect your boundaries or your priorities, you need to have a serious discussion with them. If after that they still continue not to respect your priorities, then you need to think about limiting your contact. Maybe cutting off at least for a while until they finally get the message. Okay, and there might be people that try to control you to do things when you know you don't want to do it, but try to guilt and I mean, you just have to stick to your guns and you have to stick with the priorities that you set for yourself. Okay. And of course, there's going to be distractions. You're going to have people that go to try to discourage you from achieving your goals. Okay. Some of it because they have, I mean, these people that have no visions, they have no desire, they have no um, clear strategies and things of that nature. I mean, I had to cut off certain people because they were not a positive influence on my life. Okay. Um, Not just here on this platform, but in my personal life outside. I mean, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself to the extent that you're willing to enforce what are your boundaries and what are your priorities. Okay. By not paying full attention to your priorities and focusing on others, you're not doing yourself any favors. And basically, what you're doing is you're going to become overwhelmed with 55,000 things to do. And then you're going to be tired mentally, you're going to be tired physically, and you're not going to be a happy camper. Okay. You're not going to be a happy camper. So, but of course, you're probably wondering why I'm even discussing this um, today. Is that first of all, because look, we're entering into the holiday season, which is loosely speaking from Thanksgiving to New Year's Eve, and some people even going beyond that. Okay, you have a lot of activities to do. Okay, you have a lot of social function to attend to. You have a lot of other functions to attend to. So you need to make that determination what's important and what's not important. Okay. And those things that are not important, well, guess what? You're not going to get around to it. It is that simple. Okay. And again, let me make this perfectly clear. Only you can make the determination as far as what are your priorities, what are your boundaries, what are your limits. Only you can make that determination. So, with that being said, let me just discuss what I'm going to be discussing next week, tomorrow, sorry, what Friday, and then next week. As I stated, Friday will be another episode of Open Discussion when I'll be discussing multiple topics. I'm going to give you my point of view, and of course, the audience will have an opportunity to opine and express any topics that they want me to discuss. Now, next week's schedule is I'm going to go back to my typical Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday schedule. Okay, where nights where I'm going to be doing my live streams will be Monday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. Most likely Fridays, going for at least until the end of the year, I'll do dedicated to open discussion. Tuesdays, I'll do a stream regarding my other channel, which is Latina Diaspora. Also, what I'm going to be doing is trying to create some more shorts on both my channels. Okay. As always, I really appreciate all the love and all the warmth that all of you have given me. Okay. I have a goal. I would like to reach 500 subs before the end of the year. If I get it, great. If not, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It is just a goal. Okay. And I understand, there's certain cycles where um, not many people will watch my content, and then there are those that will, basically, busting on the door to watch my content. Okay. As I stated before, and I will continue to state that this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. Okay. Excuse me. So, excuse me. First of all, I just want to say, now, you know, I hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Okay, whether you be with family or friends or be alone. If you find some if for some reason, good evening, Georgia. Happy blessed Thanksgiving to you. And let me just state that my friend Georgia has his YouTube channel, which he produces a great deal of quality content. So I'm going to ask you to show some love for him and check out his content. So the topic has been Stop the Chaos. So basically, what I've been doing is discussing how to set boundaries and priorities in your life, which is something we all need to do. And to be perfectly honest, things will be more organized when we do set boundaries and enforce them. But in any case, if you do find yourself alone tomorrow, um, try to visit certain places. Now, I'm sure that certain places where they'll serve a Thanksgiving meal, whether it be perhaps in churches or other places of worship. Okay, and always be mindful. You don't have to wait until the fourth Thursday of November to give thanks. Every day should be a day of Thanksgiving of some sort. Okay, and try to find something that you can do to be thankful for. And it could be small. It could be the fact that you are alive. It could be the fact that you have a home. It could be the fact that you have a job. It could be the fact that you're healthy or things of that nature. Or try to find something every day to be thankful, no matter what's going on in your life. Okay. And I'm just gonna name three things which I'm truly thankful. First of all, I'm thankful for the fact that I have a relationship with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, whom every blessing comes on him. I'm also thankful for the fact that I have a place to sleep. I have clothes on my back. I have food in my refrigerator. Also, I have loved ones who care about me and worry about me and check up on me. And of course, I'm truly thankful for all of you, my supporters, who I affectionately refer to them as the uncommon folk, because you are truly all uncommon. Okay. And again, let me just state for the record, the reason why I have the success that I have is because of people like you. Okay. That week in and week out, uh, view my content, make comments, okay, and make observations, whether it be my streams or whether it be my shorts. I might do a short video regarding a Thanksgiving message tomorrow. I don't know. I just have to see what's going on. If I do that, it's not going to be long, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. But in any case, every day should be a day to give thanks. That is what I truly believe. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this now. Of course, the playback gang, I'm going to ask you to do your thing. Check out the stream, comment if you wish. Just try to keep it respectable. Okay, I do accept criticism, constructive criticism, but if you're going to get nasty, what's going to happen is you're going to get your comments are going to get deleted, and basically you're going to get blocked. Okay, for not respecting my boundaries. Okay, and those who do not like it, it's your problem, not my problem. Okay, so I will be live Friday. Hmm, probably 9:30. But in any case, I will close as I always close all my streams. We must do everything possible to avoid the presence of the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. And one more thing I need to mention is the fact that it's been very quiet here in these YouTube streets. And I really appreciate that. Okay. Of course, we all know things can get heated very quickly because of how the suckers will react. With that being said, it is what it is. But again, thank you very much for your indulgence. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for your continued support. And of course, I will strive to continue to be the best version of myself, which is the best way to to bother my ops, who seem to be the loudest to criticize about me. So with that being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, saying good night, take care, and peace.